I already have 1,000,001 books to be reading. Why am I doing this to myself? Hi team, I hope you're all well. I have decided to do the try chapter tag. The reason being, I really need to unhaul some books. So I've already got an unhaul ready to go, like that I need to film. Some books that I want to take to the charity shop and get rid of, and a couple that I want to sell. But I think I need to do a bit more of a declutter. I've just done a haul. I don't know how straight this is. You're currently sat on a book because I can't be bothered going getting my tripod. So lazy. I've just done a haul, birthday, Christmas, January haul of 117 books. So I could do with unhauling some books. So yeah. So my intention is I've decided to pick 5 fantasy books. I'll read the first chapter and see whether or not I'm going to keep them. These books have all been on my shelves around about a year or so, if not longer. So these are the 5 books that I'm just going to try a chapter of now and see how I get on. I'm during a 48-hour readathon right now. I should be reading the books that I'm meant to be reading, but boredom's kicked in a little bit, not with the books that I'm reading, just in general. Boredom is kicked in, and I know I'm going to be in all day tomorrow because there's a storm on its way, so I'm refusing to go out tomorrow. I've bought loads of food in so that I don't need to leave the house. So yeah, I thought I would do this. So the first book we're going to try is Shadow Scent by P.M. Freestone. This is the first in the series, I think. This is a series anyway. And this I got in a book box, one of the book subscription boxes. This came out in 2017. I do have a signed bookplate in it as well, so that's how I know it came in a book subscription box, because that's usually how I get those. And this is about, in the Empire of Aramtesh, scent has power. When disaster strikes and the Crown Prince lies poisoned, long suppressed rivalries threaten to blow the empire apart. It is up to Raquel, a poor village girl with a talent for fragrances, and Ash, the prince's loyal bodyguard, to find an antidote. To succeed, the unlikely pair must uncover cryptic, ancient secrets as well as buried truths from their own pasts in an adventure that will ignite your senses. So I'm going to do this one first, come back and let you know my thoughts, and then we'll jump on to the next one. So I will see you in a little while. Okay, I'm back with Shadow Scent, and we will be unhauling Shadow Scent. I've read the first chapter of this and I just don't care. The world building in here is very confusing. You go straight into this new world that you've never known before. You know nothing about it, but they don't really explain it to you. So it's not particularly explained very well. I don't know whether that will continue into the book. I did just nip on Goodreads to have a look at the reviews. There is a mixed bag, so there's quite a few 5 stars, there's quite a few 2 or 3 stars as well, but the people that were giving it 2 or 3 stars were describing exactly how I felt in the first chapter of the book. So I'm not particularly bothered. They were saying that it's quite easy. The things that the characters have to do, they seem to get there very easily. There's not really any challenge, and I'm just not particularly here for it. I've literally just DNF'd a book that is similar to how this sounds. To be honest, it was a sci-fi, and I DNF'd it for a few reasons, but one of them was the fact that it was too nice, which sounds ridiculous, but everything was too nice. There was never a challenge, and I sometimes like it when there's a challenge, like your favourite character gets stabbed, they survive. It was great if they survive, obviously. I don't want your favourite character to die, but it needs to be a challenge. There needs to be a challenge to get to the place that they're trying to go to. There isn't in this by the sounds of things, and I'm just not bothered about the characters. So unfortunately, Shadow Scent is being unhauled. So The next book on my list, I really hope I don't unhaul this one because it's so beautiful, is The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. I've heard amazing things about this. I know that Jade from JD Ray Reads has just finished the last book for this in her Polathon. TBR this week. So, beware the evil in the woods. In a village at the end of the wilderness in northern Russia, where the wind blows and the cold snow falls many months of the year, an elderly servant tells stories of sorcery, folklore, and the Winter King to the children of the family, tales of old magic frowned upon by the church. But for the young, wild Vasya, these are far more than just stories. She alone can see the house spirits that guard her home and sense the growing forces of dark magic in the woods. Ooh, it sounds fancy. I am here for this. It sounds pretty good. So, hopefully, I kind of like short chapters. Another thing about Shadow Scent is the chapters were super long. So the chapter is only up to page 11, but you usually only start on page 3. So, let's do this. Okay, so in a twisted turn of events, I have the audiobook for this on Amazon. I think I got it in a sale last year or something, so I am just waiting for that to download now. Not on Amazon, on Audible. I'm waiting for it to download now, and I will listen to the first chapter, because if I read this book, if I keep it and read it, I'll be doing it on Audible, so I will listen to this book. The other 3 I don't have audiobooks for. I think I can get the Toy Maker on, which is one of the next book. I think I can get this on from my library audio, but I don't think it's available at the moment, which is a shame, because obviously if that's the route I choose to go with it, which I probably will, it would be great to listen to the first chapter so that I know if I like the narrator or not as well. So but we'll see how this one goes. So I will check back in with you and let you know how that goes. I just thought I would let you know of that fact. Okay, so it's not long later and I have finished the first chapter of this. We are keeping this book. How have I not picked this up sooner? This was going to go on my Polathon TBR, but because I wasn't sure about it, I was so worried it was going to have really flowery writing, and apparently that is a trait I do not like. So I was so worried that it was going to be super flowery writing, and it's not at all. So we've read the first chapter. We haven't come across Vasya yet, but we've just had a story told by the older servant, and it was such a like, not necessarily lovely story, but the way it's told is so nice. I really enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to hearing more from this. She just told a story of the Frost King, and it was really good, and I just really, do you know what, I like the audio as well. I was a bit nervous at first because her voice is a little bit dull, but honestly it kind of works. So because this is set in Russia, and obviously the names of the people are Russian and things like that, she even puts on Russian accents. I just think it's going to be really good, a really good book, and I'm looking forward to continuing reading this. If I didn't have so much to finish tomorrow, I would pick this up to finish off Polathon and use this for my Polar fantasy, but alas, I have a lot to read tomorrow. I don't know how long the audiobook is. 7 hours and 30 minutes. It would take like the majority of the day to finish this tomorrow, so it's not possible. But we're keeping The Bear and the Nightingale. I've put a bookmark in, that's how much we're keeping it. So, next we have The Toy Makers by Robert Dinsdale. And this is about the Emporium opens with the first frost of winter. While the Great War wages across Europe, there is a place of hope and enrichment in the heart of London. The Emporium sells toys that capture the imagination of children and adults alike, patchwork dolls that seem alive, toy boxes that are bigger than on the inside, soldiers that can fight battles on their own. Into this family business comes young Kathy Ray, running away from a shameful past, but Kathy is about to discover that the Emporium has secrets of its own. If there is a toy shop on Diagon Alley, it will be the Toy Makers, a dark enchanting novel for fans of the night circus and the miniaturist. Okay, the thing that worries me about this is the same thing that worried me about The Bear and the Nightingale, the flowery writing. So I DNF the night circus because of its flowery writing, and I think I'm probably going to end up DNFing Alice C because of the flowery writing. So Yeah, I'm concerned that this, because it's been compared to the Night Circus, I haven't read The Miniaturist, so I don't know what that's like. But I like that it says if there was a toy shop in Diagon Alley, it would be the Toy Makers. I really like that, so I'm hoping it's more leaning to that way than the flowery writing. But let's read the first chapter and find out. I don't know how long the first chapter is. Acknowledgements at the front, different. Oh, not long at all. So I think this is like a prologue. And then the first chapter does go on a little bit. So I'll probably just read the prologue and see how that goes. So I will check back in with you when I have done that. Okay, I'm back. So I've read the prologue for Toy Maker. It's not actually called a prologue, but it's not the first chapter, I don't think. And I think I'm going to keep this, actually. It sounds really, really interesting. I like the way the writer writes. So they are writing to you, so it's not done in first person, but it's done in such a way that the writer is making you part of the story. So let me see if I can just find an example of it. So for example, just part of the page 4, on the countertop the fronts have advanced. Some other customers have drawn near, lured by the commotion. See the woman with the cage of pipe cleaning birds, the vagrant soldier marvelling at the stuffed dogs lounging in their baskets. Keep a careful eye on them, then you will see them again, but for the moment bring your gaze back to the battle. The soldiers are almost on top of one another. 3 more paces and the fronts will collide according to the rules of the boyhood battles. The last soldier standing will reign supreme. So the author is sort of making you part of the story and feel like you are in the story, which is amazing because I don't think I've ever had that before. I don't think I've had an author write as if you are in the story, so you feel like you're in the toy shop. I genuinely believe the audiobook for this will probably be unreal, like really, really amazing, because I just feel like it's going to be really, really magical anyway, even if you're physically reading it. But then to hear it and hear the author's writing saying, see the lady with the pipe cleaners, now bring your gaze back to the fight on the counter. I think it's going to be really, really cleverly done, and I'm really here for it. I want to know more. I'm not 100% set on whether or not it's going to be too flowery for me, but so far I'm enjoying it, and I really do want to try the audiobook. So Jesus Christ, I don't know why I keep doing this. I've got an ASMR room on, Ravenclaw's common room, and a ghost has just gone past on the thing. Shit me up. So yeah, I think I'm going to keep this one and we will try this on audio. I think it's going to be great, actually. Very, very excited about this one. So that's 2 books that I'm keeping, 1 I am getting rid of. The next is Flame in the Mist by Renee Ardier. This is not the first book I have by her now. Well, this is the first book I think I ever owned by her, but I've got a couple more now, so it would be nice to get an idea of her writing style. I haven't read anything from her before. So, the only daughter of a prominent samurai, Mariko has always known that being a woman means she's not in control of her fate. Never mind her cunning or her skills as an accomplished alchemist. Mariko was raised for one purpose only, to marry. At just 17 years old, Mariko is sent to the Imperial Palace to meet her betrothed, a man she did not choose. But the journey is cut short when her convoy is ambushed by the Black Clan, a group of bandits hired to kill Mariko before she reaches the palace. The lone survivor of the attack, Mariko, swears revenge on those who want her dead. She infiltrates the Black Clan disguised as a peasant boy and befriends their leader. The clan warms to Mariko, impressed by her intellect and ingenuity. But as she gets closer to her enemies, Mariko uncovers a dark history of secrets that will force her to question everything she's ever known. Ooh, guess what vibes I'm getting from this? Mulan. Is this a Mulan retelling? I don't know. This sounds like a Mulan retelling, does it not? Am I the only one thinking this? I got this from G at Book Roast. I bought it off her. It's got a signed book plate, so, and obviously I have not picked it up. So let's do that. Yeah, no mention of Mulan at all. So Also, short first chapter, so that's great. And then it jumps to 10 years later. Love the name Mariko. Really like that name, actually. I know one of my favourite films has a character called Mariko. Pacific Rim. The girl that Idris Elba brings up, she's called Mariko. That's distractions anyway. We're going to pick this up and find out whether or not I like this and want to keep it. I'm getting massive Mulan vibes from this, so I might have to check out Goodreads and see what people are saying after I've read the first chapter and made my decision. But I will let you know. Okay, it's literally a couple of minutes later because it didn't take me long to read that first chapter. So I'm going to keep this. I'm intrigued. Mariko was literally in it for about 2 seconds, if that, but we were following a young boy who had to watch his dad, I think he was a traitor or something, had to watch his dad essentially stab himself and then have his head chopped off. It was really weird. I don't know what happened. I was shocked. It is a shocking introduction to the book, but obviously this will be foreshadowing for something that will happen later on in the book, and I'm intrigued to find out what that will be. So we will be keeping Flame in the Mist and reading this at some point to figure out what happens. So 4 books down, 2 keep, no, 3 keep, 1 unhaul. We're not doing so great here, guys. I mean, we're doing great in the sense that I found a couple more books I want to read, so that's good. But last one, Wicked Like a Wildfire by Lana Popper Vic. I've heard good things about this, so we'll see. All the women in Iris and Melena's family are born with a gleam, a unique way of manipulating beauty through magic. 17-year-old Iris sees flowers as fractals and turns her kaleidoscope visions into glasswork. Her twin sister, Melena, interprets moods as music, and their cold, distant mother, Jasmina, bakes scenery into decadent treats at her confectionery in Old Town Cataro, Montenegro. Ooh, okay. Jasmina forbids Iris and Melena to share their gleams with anyone, and above all, she forbids them to fall in love. Being discovered could shatter the quiet lives they've built in the tucked-away seaside town. But Iris and Melena are tired of abiding by their mother's rules and rebel in secret whenever they can. Yet when a mysterious white-haired woman attacks their mother and leaves her hovering between life and death, the sisters unearth an ancient curse that haunts their line, a wicked bargain that masquerades as a blessing and binds the twins' fates and hearts to a force larger than life. To save each other, they must untangle 1,000 years of lies and reveal their own hurtful secrets, but even the deepest sacrifice might not be enough. Nice. Bewitching duology about the power of love, death and magic, and the many faces of beauty. Oh, so this is a duology. That's cool then. I actually thought this was signed or it had a bookplate. Oh, there it is. I've taped it in. Or Giaz, I can't remember. So yeah. Sounds alright actually. How long is the first chapter? Oh, not too long. 12 pages. That's not too bad. Okay, let's do this. Okay, here we have it. Our last book. Wicked Like a Wildfire by Lana Popovic. I will be unhauling this. Okay, so this is not a decision I've come to lightly because... Okay, so I'm aware that this is based in Montenegro, which obviously is like a real place in real life. But for some weird reason, it never clicked in my head that this would be an urban fantasy. So I'm reading through it and Iris, our character who we're reading from her point of view, is like out on the piss. She's smoking weed. And I'm just like, what? This is not what you expect to read in like a fantasy book. So that is a little bit weird. I can't decide if I like it or not. Like, just find it a bit weird. The main reason why I will be unhauling this is because of the writing style. It is flowery, which is not my thing. I did have a quick look. Obviously from one chapter, it's like 12 pages. From one chapter you can't get the whole sense of the book, but I did have a quick look on Goodreads just to double check that it wasn't just me, and there are a lot of like, there's a lot of 4-star ratings for it and 3-star ratings for it, but there's also a lot of like 2 and 1-star ratings, which is quite surprising for the flowery writing, and also lack of character development and a just slow pace, very boring. So unfortunately the flowery writing is the one that does it for me. I don't like books with flowery writing. There's a lot of people comparing it to the likes of the Night Circus and Caraval. I DNF'd the Night Circus because of the flowery writing. I got through Caraval, but I've never finished a series because of the flowery writing. So I obviously don't get on with flowery writing. It's a shame because this cover is absolutely stunning, and the next one is gorgeous as well. A lot of people, I do like this book though, so obviously if you are into your flowery writing, by the sounds of things, this will be up your street, but unfortunately for me it's not going to be, so I will be unhauling this. So in order to wrap this up, these 5 books, I will be unhauling Shadow Scent and Wicked Like a Wildfire. So I'm probably maybe going to try and sell these first because they're both signed. So I might try and do that. And then I will be keeping The Bear and the Nightingale, The Toy Makers and Flame in the Mist. I'll be keeping all 3 of these. So I'm looking forward to picking these up. I think what I'm thinking is maybe doing a reading vlog with these. Just let me know in the comments down below if you would like to see that. So if you just want to see a reading vlog where I read these 3 books and let you know my final thoughts on them. I love watching these try a chapter tags, but then I always forget to sort of like keep an eye out for them on people's vlogs and see whether or not they actually read them in the end and whether they enjoyed them or not. So I'm wondering whether to do like a dedicated vlog to this, like maybe a weekend vlog or a weekly reading vlog or something, where I just read these 3 books and just dedicate that vlog to these 3 books. And you will hear my final thoughts on them. So yeah, just let me know in the comments down below if that's something you'd like to see. If you want to, in the comments down below, let me know what you think of this video. Let me know if you want to see me read these 3 in a separate vlog. And yeah, if you have enjoyed this video, I know it's something a little bit different, but if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I would really appreciate it. It obviously helps me decide which videos you like the most and things like that. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Again, I would really appreciate it. And I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now.